WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, welcomes you to the Live Your Life Without Limits show with your host, Ian White, life fulfillment coach, who helps people get out of their own way so they can live the life they were meant to.
Welcome, everybody, to the Live Your Life Without Limits show. I'm your host, Ian White, life fulfillment coach and the president of CoachingDeconstructed.com. And today, we're going to talk about friendship and community and why it's so important that we connect not only in our personal lives with friends, but also in business with friends. And I have a guest today. Her name is Lynda Nguyen. She is a Silicon Valley sought-after confidence coach and corporate trainer. She embodies a spirit of mind-body holistic approach, both in her practice and her everyday life. And she's the founder of a new company called Frontier, a social connection web service that brings together people to co-create and to connect. And I met Lynda in March of this year at a conference, personal growth / business building conference, and we actually sat in the front row at the end of the conference. We probably sat together for maybe half an hour, and what I think is amazing about these types of experiences is that you never know who you're going to meet and why you're meeting them. But if you remain open to the possibility that things are showing up and trusting that everything is going to be great, and that just because you don't know what the outcome is going to be, that as long as you remain open, there's a possibility for some cool things to show up. And I knew meeting these certain people over the course of this week or weekend that there was going to be some amazing connections. And Lynda was one of those connections. And I didn't know how it was going to pay off, but it seems to be showing up now. She asked me to write an article for the launch of Frontier, and I've done that, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. And now there's an opportunity for me to support her in her launching her business, as well as her showing up and showing what she can do and what she's about to help people in this audience grow and expand and start living their life without limits. Lynda, hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, Ian. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm pleased to have you. Why don't we start by just you sharing your stories of who you are and what brought you here?
Yeah. So first off, yes, we met in March, you and I, Ian, and it was wonderful to meet you that last day, and your energy is just so contagious, your smile and everything like that. So I just wanted to say that was a really great opportunity for me, too. So thank you for the intro, and I really felt connected with a lot of people at that conference, you included. So your question is that you wanted me to introduce myself a little bit and what I'm doing here today with you, correct?
Yes.
So I'm Lynda, and I'm a confidence and corporate trainer in the Silicon Valley. I'm based in Mountain View, but I have spaces in Palo Alto as well as the city of San Francisco, and I help executives and professionals with confidence and presence and communication and showing up for each other in a different, more embodied and connected way. I also help folks with heart intelligence and coherency and resiliency, and working with a lot of different modalities that I've been trained in, some of which include NLP. I have a master's in hypnotherapy, as well as being a firewalking instructor, and basic counseling psychology and tantra, Kundalini energetic work. So I do have a lot of different expertise to show up for my clients and meet them where they're at, because I believe with all of my heart in the importance of being powerful and the personal power and presence in yourself, and being able to show up for your community, for your colleagues, for your loved ones in a real, authentic, and raw way. And that's the only way for us to make impact and to affect the lives of those we love. So that's what I do, and that's what I'm passionate about. And I'm here today with you, Ian, because I am launching a web service at the end of the month, the first iteration, and it's called Frontier. And it's about connection and collaboration and community. And we wanted to talk about that a little bit to let your audience know where we're going with that and how that can change their lives and how they can make a difference in their community and how they can make some lasting friendships. And they don't have to go to a conference. They can just show up on Frontier.com and build that kind of connection and support that we all need in our lives, right? So that's what I do.
Yeah, I'd love for you to maybe dive into that a little bit, just to share what it is that Frontier is all about and how it would support the everyday person.
Okay. So, how it started for me is that friendship specifically has always been a focal point in my life. I've always been that person who grew up with a lot of best friends. I've always had a best friend. I've always had a little group of sisters, and community and connection and that sense of support has always been really important to me, and it supported me in so many different ways in my life. It saved me in so many moments when I thought that I was so alone, that I thought that I couldn't go on. There's always that energy, there's always that spark, that one friend that encouraged me to be more than I thought that I could in that moment. And so showing up for each other and being open to that possibility of new friendship, new connection, new collaboration is what really inspires us to keep on moving towards the path that we are destined to move towards. And so Frontier is a space online that we are trying to develop right now. We're in the fundraising phase. But at the end of this month, we're going to be launching a first iteration, which is a community, a web community where you can go on, you can contribute articles about friendship, connection, collaboration, about how you met your co-founder, how you met your childhood best friend, how technology and science has affected our understanding of friendship, how social media has changed your way of looking at friendship, and all that stuff. And everybody out there has so much wisdom and insight, and so we wanted to create a platform to allow you to submit those articles, the research, the studies that you have gathered. And also on our end, we're going to continually reinforce the importance of friendship, of connection, and we have partnered up with wellness organizations around town that will offer that very measurable understanding of why this will help you have a longer, more healthier life, number one. But number two, also how these connections can offer you the space to collaborate, to come together and share your skills, and so that you can execute and make happen all those social impact projects that you've been dreaming of. Because I might have the marketing skills, but I don't have a lot of knowledge on finances. And so I'm going to go on Frontier, and I'm going to be pinged to somebody who has certain skill sets to help me execute the projects that I have in mind to help the community at large. And in these collaborative exchanges, we're also going to become better friends. We're also going to go out and have a beer or chill together. And I think that because most of my time is spent working, a lot of corporate executive professional folks that I work with, they're really happy with their job, but they aren't really connected to their colleagues, and they don't have a lot of those friendships that Frontier is going to try to facilitate and try to nurture, because people with shared visions are the ones that stay together. And how awesome would it be to go out there and to work and to share a vision and to create a project with somebody who's also going to have the same like mind to be your best friend too. So that's my goal, is to create a space for you to find your best friend, hopefully, and also for you to go out there and make stuff happen with each other.
Why is it so important that you be able to meet a best friend in business?
Because business is challenging, because there's going to be really difficult days. There's going to be moments when you're like, oh my God, how do I even get myself into this space of entrepreneurship? It's like a whole spiritual journey in and of itself, and you're going to be confronted with a lot of stuff, and there's going to be lulls, and there's going to be challenges, like I said. And how wonderful would it be to be with somebody who gets you on a level of energetics and consciousness and wisdom, a friend of like mind to be working next to you, so that when you do go through these moments, that you're able to share it with each other, that you're able to also share a laugh, and you have the same sense of humor, and you also have complementary skill sets. Ultimately, that's so very important, so that you can go out there and create these projects together. At the core of it, the heart of it, you have a shared vision, and that's what keeps people together, whether it's relationships, romantic, whether it's best friends. I think that we have to be looking in the same direction in order for this exchange to last in the long term. And so I get that. I understand that because I've seen that in my own life. So I wanted to create a place that really fosters those kinds of connections specifically. In the long run, also affect the community, the culture at large too.
Yeah, it's interesting, the whole idea of being able to work with friends.
Right.
I actually wrote an article for Frontier for part of its launch.
You did a lovely article.
And it's interesting because wouldn't it be awesome to work with people who had your current vision and your shared views of how you see the world today? Because I know when I grew up, I had friends and we built relationships based on going to the bar and meeting girls, and it was built in a different place, in a different space with different values. Right. And as I've grown and matured, they may not have matured in the same rate with the people that I used to be friends with. So wouldn't it be amazing to do business with people who get you now, who get you today?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's
exactly.
That's
Yeah, I read your article, Ian, and that was one of the reasons why I thought Frontier would be so important for me personally, as well as a lot of my colleagues and friends who've expressed the same sentiment. And that's because we create friendships and connections based on shared habits and routines, right? And so as we're growing up, that's what we like to do, and that's perfectly fine. And we enjoy those kinds of things because that helped us grow in certain ways that we needed to during that time of our lives. But as we get into college and as we move forward, we all realize who we are as people and what our beliefs are. And so therefore our visions change, our ideals change and what we want to do with our lives. Some people get into different industries. And so shared vision, shared habits, shared routines. And so Frontier is a place for you to go on and to find people who have similar interests as you, who have similar beliefs, and who also have complementary talents and skills and education to help each other, support each other in the ways that we should be as a community, because we're social creatures and we need connection so much more than we realize, and how that helps us live longer too. So that's ultimately what Frontier is about, and we're going to be launching at the end of July with that first iteration to offer you that space to share your thoughts, share your wisdom, and create a space for us to encourage you, to educate you, to give you the resources and research so that you know why this is important, number one, and so that you can connect with each other and read everybody's wisdom and experiences and vulnerabilities, and how beautiful that is for us to show up and share with each other why it's important to be with each other, right? And then at the end of the year, early 2017, we will start developing our full platform, which will have the tools, the navigational tools, the technology to facilitate and make all those projects happen for you. So this place is a place for us to connect and create.
Thanks, Lynda. This is all great. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with going into the new year and into your first iteration, your first launch. So after the break, Lynda's going to talk to us about surrendering and letting things come to us. We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Live Your Life Without Limits show with Ian White, Life Fulfillment Coach on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network.
Hi everyone, this is Lisa Copeland, the host of the You Can Find Love After 50 show. You can catch my show on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, where we'll talk about how you can find love after 50 on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network.
Hi, this is Stephanie, Spirits with Stephanie. Come join me at the Conjure Shop if you're ever in the area, Omaha, Nebraska. I am at the Conjure Shop from noon to 7 every first and third Fridays of the month. I would like for you to join me in a personal private reading, and we can find out who's with you at all times, how you can heal your body, what it is you need to know about what's going on with you, what's your next move on life. Come join me. I'm at the Conjure Shop every first and third Fridays of the month. I'm there from noon to 7, and I would like to see you. Come on by if you're in Omaha, Nebraska. The Conjure Shop address is 809 South 75th Street, and that's Omaha, Nebraska, 68114. You can call for a private reading at 402-884-5680. Come on out. Let's see what spirit guides are with you all the time. Come on out. Let's find that out. And let's find out some other things that you never knew about yourself, okay?
Welcome back to the Live Your Life Without Limits show with Ian White, Life Fulfillment Coach on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Live Your Life Without Limits show. I'm Ian White, your host, and I have a special guest with you today, Lynda and Nguyen. Before the break, we were talking about the social network platform that she's created called Frontier and the importance of working with friends, collaborating with friends, having a shared vision. I really want to know, Lynda, have you always been on this path?
That's a good question, Ian. No, I have not always been on this path. Like most of us, it took me a while to really connect to my truth and have the confidence and a sense of personal power to say, this is how I want to live, and I have to find a way. I have to fight through the resistance, fight through, the conditioning and the belief system that I was raised with in order to get to this place of connection, of surrender. And no, I have not always lived this path. For the first maybe 25, 30 years of my life, I was living the very stereotypical Silicon Valley professional life. I was a teacher back then. I had a set of friends that were beautiful. But at a certain point in my growth, I realized that it wasn't making me feel fulfilled. I wasn't happy, and I was super empty inside, feeling very disconnected. The friends that I had during that time, the group of us, we didn't have shared visions. We didn't have the same philosophies and outlook on the future. And it was inevitably going to be doomed, and we were going to break apart, and we did. And it was very heartbreaking for me because friendship and family and all that stuff has always been important to me. And I understand that we evolve and we have to release and let go of certain friendships that don't work anymore. But obviously, that was a turning point in my life, and I had to really work through those emotions, those stories, those triggers because of that loss and because of that transition. I switched jobs. I was unemployed for a while. I had no idea what I was doing. Broke up with lovers, friends, and my childhood best friend, all that stuff. And it really shook me up. It really made me feel like, what the hell am I doing with my life? And I'm not happy. And I didn't, my parents didn't do all that to get me here, to get me to this point. I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing. And I remember there was a pivotal moment in my life when I was on the ground, literally on the ground in my room, and I was crying. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but all these things are going wrong in my life, and everything is just breaking apart. But in hindsight, I'm like, that was like a blessing in disguise. The universe was shaking me up, saying that you have to surrender. You know what your truth is, and you know how to get there, but you have to surrender so we can help you get there. But for so long, I didn't want to, because I knew that if I surrendered, if I let go, I would be so powerful and that I would have to release a lot of things in my life, and I was so comfortable. And like they say, comfort and safety is so dangerous because it doesn't allow you to be you. And so in that moment, after a lot of resistance and years, or many, many months of pain, I finally said to the universe, I'm like, okay, you know what? Whatever I'm doing, it's not working anyway. So I surrender, and whatever you bring to me, I will be okay. I know I will be okay. And in that moment of truly believing that, I literally felt an energetic shift in my body. And I'm like, oh, I will be okay, because even if I get stuck here, even if I am working at a job I'm overqualified for, whatever I'm doing, I will be okay because I will make the best of it. And lo and behold, because I surrendered, because I just connected to that place of lightness again, the universe was able to offer me the people, the opportunities, the connection, the prosperity that I was wanting for so long. And simply by me saying I'm okay, I have power. No matter what happens, no matter who leaves me, no matter how rejected I feel or however, I'll be okay because I am powerful and I am protected in some sense or another, because you have to feel that connection to something bigger than you. And I did. And in that surrender, and I would like to share with the audience that surrender is what
I was just going to ask you, how did you surrender? What did you do?
I think first you have to visualize and believe and let go of that resistance. And when you become so exhausted, I think that I did it very organically. It just happened because I went through such a long period of suffering. But I have tools and I have a way, and I've mapped it out to help my clients get there quicker. Because why do you guys have to go through all that pain that I went through and reinvent the wheel and all that stuff when I've already gone through it and I know how to help you get there quicker? So what I did was I literally was hyperventilating. I was going through so much pain and exhaustion that I was breathing and I was crying. And when you do that, you're just you're going through so much and you're tiring yourself the hell out. And you get to a place where, like, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired, you know? And then finally you get it. The light comes through. You're like, okay, I see it. But you don't have to go through that. So what helps is breath work. Breath work is a shift in your energy. It helps you heighten your energy. It helps you tap to your heart space. There's so many different breath works in Kundalini and Tantra and even in heart math that I am a trainer with. They teach you how to connect to your heart space. Or you can up your breathing. You can do the breath of fire. You can do the transformational breath where you pump your hands up and down. And if you work with me, or if you when I look it up on the internet, there are a lot of different breath works that can help you align your energies to balance yourself, to help you come back to your core, to your center. And that's what I would really encourage folks to do, is that when you do that, not just meditation, but breath work, it will definitely help you come back to you, release all the energies that aren't yours, and then you'll finally, okay, I get it now. I'm okay. So I breathe into it. I breathe into the pain. I breathe into the resistance, and now I'm back to me. So I can go through that for another hour or so, but we have time that I want to honor. But yeah, breath work number one will help you definitely. What you were talking earlier, Ian, is that when you're feeling anxiety, what do, right? So for me in my yogas, what we teach our clients to do is that there's this thing called breath of fire. There's this technique. And you sit there and you pump your breath back and forth, your navel coming in and out, and you pump it and you pump it. And you would think that it's counterintuitive to be doing this while you're hyperventilating, but actually what it does is that it brings the energy, it circulates the oxygen throughout your body, number one, and there's so many different health benefits if you look it up. But number two, also, it exhausts you. It goes, okay, let's move the energy, let's keep on moving it, and then you get back to yourself. You're like, okay, now I'm tired, now who am I? Now all those stories are gone, I'm going to release them. Now I'm back to me. What is my truth? What do I want? What are my intentions and what are my objectives? And so when you're able to do that, you can surrender. You can let go, but you're not bypassing anything. You get that these emotions are surfacing. And so I think importantly, don't pretend that you're okay. Don't pretend that you can be all zen, because quite frankly, we're human and we're never going to be all zen, and nor do we want to be, because we want to feel the emotions that come up. But to feel it, to accept it, and then to let it go, and to know that there's another day. There are so many beautiful friends to connect with. There's so much possibility if you just allow yourself to come back to that place of spaciousness and lightness.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for that spaciousness. There's a quote I'm working on. It's not perfect yet, but I'm starting to really like it. And basically, it's fear lives in the absence of breath. So breathe deep and release the fear. Basically, you'll notice yourself when you have anxiety, you have fear, whatever that is. You can call it whatever you want, but it all boils down to fear, and it keeps you from breathing deeply, and it consumes your lungs. But the moment you notice that your breath is short or panicked or whatever, just stop and breathe deeply. And all of the examples of anybody who's having like a little panic attack, or they're going on stage and or you're about to hit a big shot in golf, you see that big deep breath that they make? It's because they're trying to recenter themselves. So if you can release that fear and just breathe deep, it squeezes it out. So it gives you.
There's what you're saying. It's wise, and it's really true. There's a quote that goes, tension and fear and anxiety, it's who you think you should be, but peace and calm and confidence, it's who you really are. And so anytime you go on stage and you're feeling that fear and anxiety, connect to your center a little bit and go, so how am I not being authentic right now? What do I think I should be? What am I trying to be that I'm not really aligned with? And I've done that many, many times. I'm like, oh, Lynda, okay, come back to you, because it doesn't matter who loves you, who likes you. That's all about them anyway. So why don't you come back to your truth so that you can come on stage and be you? That's what people are wanting, right? Yeah, and that's always helped me, is just to really check myself and go, hey, you're not being you right now.
No, that's fantastic. So, where can people find where you're at and what you're doing?
Cool. Well, thank you. So I have a website, my personal website, my coaching and corporate training website is Lynda, Lynda, Nguyen, Nguyen.com. And I am not taking a lot of one-on-one clients, but I do take VIP intensives and stuff. If you resonate with my message, with me, and you want a consultation, go ahead and ping me on www.lyndanguyen.com. And for Frontier, we're launching at the end of the month. And so Frontier is www.frontier.com. That's FRIENDTIER.com. So friend and then tier. Tier is like a higher level of friendship, different tiers and stuff. And so that really made sense to me to name my company Frontier.
Thank you so much, Lynda.
Well, thanks so much, Ian, for having me. I really appreciate the invite, and good luck with your show. And for everybody, I would love to have you visit frontier.com or my website. And, cheers. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So just in summary, I just wanted to thank Lynda for coming and sharing this great information with us, and what an inspired service that she's creating with frontier.com, helping bring people together, connecting community, and trusting in our bigger purpose. And some great advice on connecting with breath. There's no quicker, better way than to take a deep breath, to recenter yourself, to overcome those fears that we often are challenged with. So until next time, if you're feeling a little anxious, just take a deep breath and trust that you're on the right path. Bye.
You've been listening to the Live Your Life Without Limits show with Ian White, Life Fulfillment Coach on WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network.